web application monitoring, and we do have, of course, an example device here as well. PRTG features 5 HTTP sensors. So there is the normal HTTP sensor, which of course also is doing a little bit more than just a port check on port 80 or 443. It really checks, is there an HTTP response, and if it would get an HTTP response 404, then the sensor will go into an error state as well. So it's not, that's a very basic HTTP check. Then we have the HTTP advanced sensor, which is doing a little bit more. As you can see here, it has more channels, bytes received, so it checks how large the page is basically, or it received, download bandwidth, loading time again, but also the time to first byte, which is interesting in some cases. And we, with the advanced sensor, we can do different request methods here. Of course, we can specify a custom user agent, so you can have the sensor simulate it being a Firefox or a Chrome, something like that. And of course, you can monitor content changes if a page changes. And then we have the keyword changes. The response has to contain or must not contain certain elements. And you can even do authentication, of course, against the page. So that's, of course, then just what the name says, a little bit more advanced. HTTP sensor. We have the paused one here is a HTTP content sensor, which just checks a page, checks for any numbers between brackets, and uses this the number between the brackets then as a sensor result, which is often used to monitor custom applications where you want to grab a number, and that's the easiest way because it's actually a web server. So then just quickly set up a custom page that's only accessed by PRTG, maybe performance counter or something like that. Throw in the number just only on that page and have it monitored by a content sensor. The fourth type is the full page web sensor. So that fully monitors monitors a full page with an Internet Explorer Chrome based executable, and so fully downloads the page, and it's just really a simulation of a browser of different type. And finally, we have the HTTP transaction sensor, which I want to show you in a little bit more detail here, because the transaction sensor is able to go through a series of URLs. Again, authentication, of course, necessary or possible. And then we'll have, in this case, it just goes against another internal PRTG installation, but it could very well be a shop, a web shop, or your intranet, if that's very important. So you can do a login process, a shopping cart, to ensure that these business services of your organization are working, and also the performance of them is not degrading over time. And so we do have 3 URLs here, just going through the index, group, and status page on another PRTG. You can go up to 10 different URLs, and then have the normal settings again after there. And on each step, of course, there is the keyword check, and so we could just enter mashed potatoes in here. That will definitely not appear on a PRTG page, so if I'll do the check now, it should allow me that this string I'm looking for is not found on URL 2, of course, and of course you can see the historic data. You can see how each URL, time of URL 1, 2, 3, as I said, up to 10 did perform, and you can get a picture if you changed a certain element on an intranet page or in your web shop, and if that has a negative or a positive effect actually on such a transaction for your customers or your employees. So that's what you could do with the transaction sensor. Have it go through a series of URLs, and then of course check for content there.